we give it on over to our casters. It is going to be an epic matchup. I have no doubt about that. Hope you guys enjoy this one on the main stage. It's going to be Jersey and Gaskin taking the mics. Fellas, let's get into Optic SSG.
Redemption is the word on my lips, Dan. I have to say, Optic Gaming are now playing against SSG. They have a rematch on the cards from SLC, where they got 3-2'd by FaZe. They've already avenged that. And now up against SSG, where they also got reverse swept. So it's time for Optic Gaming, who look like they've already turned the page, to avenge and won that redemption arc.
A lot of S's, a lot of G's, but who's going to get that W? That's the only letter I care about. CTF Empyrean is where we're starting off. We saw that lovely graphic of the yearly records for both of these teams. It is a very dominant series layout for Spacestation Gaming. They've been flawless on a couple of these maps and modes. In particular, CTF on Empyrean, they've only lost it once. That being said, Optic look like a different beast here in Fort Worth. They look like they're on fire. They look like they are set out to get that revenge. Is this the Optic Revenge Tour? We're going to find out. It's the winners semi-finals. It's a place to book yourself for winners finals. Who's going to get into the top 3? Let's get it.
Shields up, weapons up. We're underway. Winners semi-finals time. SSG up against Optic Gaming. And we're on board with Lucid. Sniper rifle in hand. And bound with overshield in his crosshairs. One shot, whisked away. StelluR will pop his shields. Back him down. Oh, didn't even pop his shields, just backed him down nevertheless.
Does rip the shields off of Eco, though. More importantly, sends him into the death screen. One thing that the desk were highlighting was the incredible control from Optic of rockets and power-ups. When it came to their previous series against FaZe, but Spacestation also very much known for how well they can control the sandbox as well. But at the moment, it's just about the sniper rifle war. It's about trying to establish yourself on the map and get into some of these more advanced positions where you can start to work on those spawns.
StelluR with sniper rifle. I've seen this movie before. It didn't end well for his opposition. He is shut down. And ammunition will drop just on the box. APG and Lucid combined. 2 go down. APG immediately looks for that sniper rifle, unaware that it was just above the lip of the stairs. He descends the base now. StelluR with his back to the wall, down to no shields. He will go down. And APG scoops up the flag. That's every intention of moving it forward, driving it forward here. Does the gangster. He's lost 2 teammates in the process though. Make it 3. This flag capture looks dead in the water.
Yeah, probably a dead flag. APG just trying to be a nuisance, but he eventually gets called out, spotted out, and the flag ends to nothing in the end. It's very difficult here on Empyrean to try and get that flag traversed across the map. Ideally, if you get 2 or 3 down, if you can get someone down long haul with the flag, usually it can be enough. We have seen a lot of players and teams try and run this down towards Snipe now, if you can get control of that Snipe tower and keep them pinned back over towards Needles. That takes someone to really be popping off with a sniper rifle, but I tell you what, a Needler can work too.
Needles gets 1. Eco throws the flag. Face to TriPPPeY, who has the repulsor and will send them back. No progress made on this flag, although he does repulse it forward. He has teammates on hand to ensure this flag will go nowhere. Rockets have just popped up as of overshield. Pznguin backs away. Rocket's been repulsed, and APG is the direct beneficiary. Double kill. 1 rocket to play with.
TriPPPeY just ensuring he puts a force field around himself and his teammate there with the repulse. But it's Bound who gets the overshield, and in this particular battle, it's overshield that wins against Rockets. It's a reversal against Lucid, and it's a chance to run the flag. This is what I was talking about. If you have snipe control, you can move that flag sniper side. It is a longer route. It is sometimes a more difficult route, but if you get the slays correct, it can be a very effective route.
Flag passes over the 50-point mark. Anyone on Optic can get a stop, can get damage. Anybody down long haul? The answer is no. This one is almost some contestants you're going to get. SSG draw first blood. 1-0.
10 kills in the moment for APG. TriPPPeY gets sent off the map. Bound after having his... Wait, did TriPPPeY go off the map? Yes, he did. Okay, finally. Bound that overshield was very important as is StelluR with the sniper rifle yet again. It's another body shot to Lucid. And if StelluR starts to heat up the way he did in Salt Lake City, he might just raise the roof here in Fort Worth. Very difficult to control when he was playing in the way that he did, but with a 1-0 lead now, Spacestation can kind of dictate the pace of this game a little bit. And it was something I alluded to in the game earlier with Optic versus FaZe. Optic very good when they're ahead. When they're behind, that's when they struggle a little bit more.
They did threaten in the early stages to take the lead. Spacestation just about managed to shut it down. Ever since then, it's been somewhat one-way traffic. Although Optic managed to scoop up some power weapons, it's really been SSG who have made them pay and have taken advantage of any weapons they had in their hands. But at the moment, Pznguin wields a battle rifle and he takes it straight towards TriPPPeY. Killing spree for the Pznguin. 2 down for Optic. Both members positioned over towards training in mid-bridge. An overextension from Lucid and a backstab in a pinch. Perfect movement. We'll make sure this flag won't move. Rocket's also picked up. Overshield will be elsewhere. Repulses the grenade and hits him with the rocket return to sender. This is an opportunity for Lucid to get a flag moving if he can put this rocket to good use.
Didn't even need that rocket in the end. The grenade was enough, but what a stop it was from Optic Gaming. If SSG had got that flag down longer, it could have been 2-0. Now there's a flag pull. Lucid's going to keep it moving over towards because he knows he's got a teammate with the overshield, and it's going to be another sniper side run. Manages to elude the shots of the player spawning over towards flag as Formo is still getting kills. 3 are dead, and it's going to be now a run down. And it's going to be a long route, but again, can be very effective if you get the slays on the other side.
Taking the long road home. Less traffic, it would seem. He ran straight into a grenade, though bound. Beautifully placed. But he's in trouble and can't get close. APG prioritizes the touch instead. And he'll fall, but he's got it ever so close. StelluR tries to get close to the return. Formal's going to be pivotal here. He goes down with the help of a plasma grenade.
Look at
And
this
Lucid. It's between two, a rock and a hard place. Flag goes home. Flag pulled out, and SSG could countercap with a triple kill from Eco.
Massive from Eco and a huge return from Spacestation in general. Again, it's another one of the reasons why that long flag route can be so difficult, because it gives times for the spawners to get behind you, get in your base, and then start to pinch. Pznguin, drop wall, make sure he takes that fight confidently, does keep the flag moving just in case they win this set of slays. That's one thing you'll notice about the highest level of Halo is there's always that little bit of brain flow going towards the objective at the same time. Just in the back of your mind of trusting your teammates to do the damage, and Pznguin still moving this flag and still doing damage.
Flag down on the bridge, right beside the repulsor. Eco will get close to it, will stay in the circle, will keep it alive. Tosses it just a fraction further. Bound with a couple of snipe shots, nothing connecting. Lucid with a melee will handle that. Overshield in 20, TriPPPeY will send the flag back home. This power up, this power weapon are going to be so important, particularly if Optic Gaming have ambitions of getting back into the game.
It's been a battle of running the flags on the bridge at the moment. It's because neither team's really been able to stabilize over towards green and long haul, and I think that's what happens when you get two teams so evenly matched in the slaying department and who are able to hit those shots so consistently with a sniper rifle, is you have to try and go for a little bit more of a janky run, whether it be trying to train it back or whether just hoping your teammates can get those kills when you pull it. As 2 are down on the side of Optic, 3 for Spacestation. As Lucid tries to march forward, but it's Bound who's going to be the last remaining player to defend here.
APG was really hoping he could use those rockets as an offensive tool. Instead, forced to use it to defend himself, keep himself alive. Ultimately, it wasn't for too long. Eco will manage to pick one up onto APG, but Lucid is there. 2 dead for Optic, 3 dead for SSG.
But good from Bound. Even though he was the last remaining player, he went to Optic's side, made sure he forced a couple of players to come back towards them. But Optic do have a little bit of a chance to pull a flag here, but I think Lucid's going to get spotted out, and he will. After losing his teammates there, he kind of had to go for a cheeky flag pull. Otherwise, by the time he had started to walk back to his own side, would have been quicker. Probably just go to the death screen first.
3 minutes, just under 30 on the clock. Spacestation hold a slender advantage, a 1-0 lead. It's Optic Gaming who have to make moves, have to influence the game, have have to be aggressive. Bound, hunting down TriPPPeY here. He was down to no shields for a moment. Almost gets a trade, but TriPPPeY will pick up one. Formal and APG are elsewhere under bridge, trying to move towards training. Trying to get things going on that side. And they've managed to take control of SSG's tower, which means they will be spawning towards flag, and indeed the Mangler. Bound, down to no shields, just back to a corner. Backs to the walls here for SSG. As TriPPPeY gets the flag out, tosses it towards the plat.
3 dead.
This is a moment then. This is the opportunity. Flag touched. This one's alive. TriPPPeY fumbles it for just a moment, but he's picking up some damage along the way. He can't get it down long haul. Is there anyone on hand to get the pickup? Yes, there is. APG, who else to be there with objective on the mind?
Was that spawn over towards Mauler? That's the real question, but it's okay. It looks like they're still hands-on. Formal can get the touch, and Formal will get the cap. All tied up, 1-1. A collective effort from Optic Gaming, everyone playing their part to make sure that flag got all the way home. Rockets up in 5 seconds. Pznguin gets his face ripped off. StelluR could be the next, takes the body shot.
Formal puts them away. Double kill. An opportunity to seize Rockets and seize control of this game in the latter stages. Rocket fired. Rocket finds a home. APG on hand to fire one more. He also connects. 3, make it 4 dead for Spacestation.
And Optic have got control, and Formal's got the snipe! And this is the perfect chance for Optic to run this one home. Formal can watch all of the angles. They just need to get it through long haul. They've got all the pieces they could possibly want. This is going to be 2-1.
Flag has the overshield. It's going to be such a difficult stop, but can't be done. Optic take the lead.
What a turn of events for Optic Gaming, and all off the back of just a couple of big kills from Formal, a couple of big snipes. It's now a killing spree, as Optic temporarily go into defense mode here just to stop this Space Station push. Try and reset, try and restabilize, get yourself into a position where you can watch those angles now for Formal and just stop SSG from having an attempt of getting this flag out.
Couple of warning shots fired by Formal towards Banana and Sword. 3 dead though for Optic. This is an opportunity for Space Station to get a counter cap of their own. 3 remain dead, remain in the respawn screen. APG's there, and APG gets 2.
Massive double. Pznguin can keep it moving potentially, but now as they've got this flag over towards Snipe, the spawner's going to make it too difficult. Space Station needs to slay out again, and with 30 seconds left, it gives Optic the chance to reset. If APG wasn't there, this could have been 2-2. This could have been going to overtime, but APG making sure he was in the right place at the right time.
APG reading it like a book. Down mid-bridge. Pulsar sends him back. Gets the kill. Vital. Formal will get final damage required. We're running out of time here. 6 seconds and counting. Is there anybody from SSG on hand to get a touch on the flag? It looks like the answer will be no, as Formal ensures with APG. Optic claim game 1.
And a game that could have very easily gone the other way had Optic just not found their form at the right time. They were down 1-0. SSG were looking comfortable, then it was almost back-to-back flags. It wasn't long between the two caps. And it was some big snipes, some big plays from Formal. They just allowed them to overwhelm Space Station. And that's what Empyrean can do to you. As Optic Gaming, they give SSG only their 2nd loss on CTF Empyrean so far this year. And actually, that probably means that Optic Gaming suddenly have found one of their best game types. They are now 6-1 on Empyrean CTF. And they find themselves 1-0 up in this series. This is a different look Optic Gaming, Jersey. Remember, we watched Optic lose 3-2 to SSG. We watched them lose 3-2 to FaZe back in Salt Lake City. But then they 3-0 FaZe earlier on today. Are we going to see something similar here? Are we starting to witness the resurgence of Optic Gaming?
Optic have tuned their instruments, and after some time they're starting to play an almighty tune, and perhaps they'll be called for an encore. But this is the situation they found themselves in before. In fact, they found themselves against this opposition up by 2, but got reverse swept. And like you say, is this a different Optic Gaming?
I think for Optic it feels like what's important is not to go to Game 5. Game 5 has been where they've struggled recently. I mean, at one point in time, they were the Game 5 masters. They were always the clutch kings, but in recent times, Game 5 has punished them. Maybe they've got them got on their own backs a little bit. Maybe got a little bit too much pressure on their shoulders. But if they can get it done in 3, get it done in 4, they don't have to worry about that. But StelluR Livefire is where we're heading. And again, when you look at the stats, the series layout, it favored Space Station. But the one mapping mode that really lent towards Optic Gaming, StelluR Livefire. Livefire has always been the home of Optic, ever since the good old days, since we started all the way back in Rally of 22. Livefire has been the home of Optic Gaming, and it's a chance for them to continue being regular furniture here and to try and go 2-0 up in this series.
Optic Gaming back home on Livefire. They have some unwelcome guests in the form and shape of Space Station Gaming, who are looking not only to walk into this house, but cause some ruckus and chaos, maybe destroy the television and whatever else they can.
Oh no, not the TV.
Formal was pivotal in game 1. Can he be equally so here and now as he immediately heads to top tower?
This will be a series-defining game of StelluR. If Optic start to run away with it, if they play like they so often do here on StelluR Livefire, we might really start to talk about a potential win here. Not just in the series, but for the tournament with how Optic have been playing. In the early stages, though, Space Station have been able to get the openers and maybe the first overshield as well.
Overshield secured. TriPPPeY goes down. APG just poking away at the bear. Nico had no more ammunition, but APG's done enough damage to ensure the overshield is no longer a factor on the map. Formal backs away 1. Lucid comes to support with the help of the heat wave in the back pocket, but can't get 1. Bound was there. 2 members of Optic fall, but they traded out. It's a 2-kill game favoring Space Station.
You can see how important those callouts were as well for Optic Gaming. Lucid grabbing his microphone, shoving it into his mouth and making sure that those callouts were heard. There is urgency behind this Optic roster. We heard the listen-ins in the previous series and they are feeling themselves a little bit more than maybe the previous events. Not getting down on themselves as much. And a positive attitude seems to be the key to success here for Optic Gaming as Formal has the sniper rifle quite rightly again. This man's on fire.
Formal turned up. Pznguin's top middle continues to jiggle peek. Formal will survive. We're all tied up. APG and StelluR have hit the respawn screen, which will continue having us here at a deadlock. Overshield has popped up and Eco's got his hands on his second successive one. Will this one be more successful than the last? We're about to find out as Optic Gaming with 3 guns trained on the man. Make sure Overshield is no more.
The Optic Gaming communication is on point as they rip that overshield away from Eco, and one way to prove the communication is on point, let's jump into a listening with OG.
Tomid walking at it, 2 here, I think. Yeah, Tomid, bigger
Make push sandbags.
Bigger. Both bigger. Nice. A flat, guys. A flat, come here.
Fight with me.
Yo,
new snipers coming
you
up soon.
have grinding for cuts.
Spawning up now.
Yo, top tower. I'm waiting for heat wave, guys.
Spawn
Top
rat.
tower.
You're gonna be
Can't help you. Go back for a sec. I'm watching dummies. Yo, one
Yo, one
on the
got top
smoke.
tower,
One's
one
on the
got top
smoke,
tower.
Matt.
Nice, nice trap down.
You don't have help, man. You
Close
don't have
bottom
help.
mid, close bottom mid.
Yo,
Another
top
one
tower.
top, cuts.
On mid, bottom mid, guys. Might be on
Walking
you.
down cuts to the mid door. He's going back to cuts, top mid for snipe.
Yo,
Two guys on me,
Key
two
door
guys on
killed me. Key door.
One shot
Two
cuts.
guys. There's 2 guys cuts.
One shot cuts.
I got out.
Heat wave should be up.
Yo, one guy's mud on me. It's one shot mud jump up on
Heat
my
wave should be
box.
up.
On my box. He's going bottom nest, going front nest. He's going back nest. He's just gone to jump up.
Out through the becoming guys.
Still the nest jump up. Yo, nest bridge.
You're good.
Behind him.
Yeah, let's run it.
Nice weak, nice one shot. I got him.
Nice.
Elbow.
I think top tower. Top tower. Low key.
Yo,
He is. He's bomb tower.
Okay, yo, top tower, jump up, top tower.
Top tower.
Yes, up. Yeah,
Absolute
elbow
bottom
side.
tower. Absolute bottom tower.
Two here,
Bottom tower,
Dummies,
guys.
dummies.
Absolute.
Time it also.
Live. This
Top mid
live.
tires.
This live.
He waves down.
Bottom tower. He was with the sniper.
There was a guy A.
Yep.
Top tower.
He's top tower.
Stay up.
They're all weak.
Down one.
Stay up.
Formal just not quite able to get the backs back there, which could have been huge onto StelluR, but it's still a slim lead held by Optic Gaming. Always great to jump into the comms and see what's going down. It was positive. It was also all the right things being said. At some point they were talking about low key, high key. I don't know what the kids say nowadays, but it's a 3-kill lead And I tell you what, it's going to be key is making sure that they get this next overshield.
Overshield picked up. TriPPPeY flies towards bound. Gets one. Pznguin backs away. A little bit of poke damage. Ultimately falls to the hands of Lucid. StelluR also down to no shield. TriPPPeY gets that one too. Eco, the latest victim to join him. And all of a sudden, there's some real breathing room between Optic Gaming and SSG to the tune of 8 kills.
Yeah, this is the scary situation when you face TriPPPeY and he's just marauding around the map so freely like this, picking up kill after kill. If he gets a heat wave, we know what his relationship's like with that weapon. You want to keep that out of his hands. It's a 9-kill lead now. Make it 8 with some solid grenades from Bound. Spacestation are struggling to really get ahead of Optic Gaming. And again, it comes back to my point. If they can't get ahead of Optic Gaming, and Optic can just play and dictate the pace of this as they seem fit. Suddenly, though, a couple of kills go in favor of Spacestation. They've got that heat wave, but Lucid on the kill feed, making sure he shuts down 2 players as he goes down. If they can continue to trade 2 for 1, Optic in a fantastic spot.
Speaking of struggles, none more so in the game than StelluR, who was at 2-9, just recently picked up a double kill at 4-9. They need him firing on all cylinders to be, if they are to be successful, in this series. Overshield popping soon. As you can see, Bound has picked up the shroud screen. He's ready to apply some cover fire, and indeed some cover for his team to secure it. Perhaps he will look to pick it up himself, try to clear out the podium. Lucid steps out with that information. It's traded 1 for 1, make it 1 for 2. TriPPPeY steps in as well, 3 dead. And another overshield for TriPPPeY.
Overshield, heat wave. This is the TriPPPeY recipe for disaster if you are on the side of Spacestation. And he's got all the support in the world as they know the spawners are over towards green, but Eco takes a good angle to at least force TriPPPeY back. But TriPPPeY, quite intelligently, will double back on himself to try and find those players who were rotating. It's 3 dead again for SSG. A 10-kill lead, this game should be done.
StelluR applying pressure to Lucid. TriPPPeY's there. His long-time duo will ensure he survives. Pznguin and Eco will spawn towards C. And they're just throwing bodies forward here, SSG, mindlessly, as though they know the jig is up.
It's so difficult when you find yourself this far behind against a team who knows the map and mode this well as Optic Gaming. Because you want to be aggressive, you want to try and push the narrative your way, but it's so difficult when angles are being watched as TriPPPeY picks up the double. Could have been the triple, but unfortunately was not able to get that final shot with the Bandit. But it's still a 10-kill lead, and this game is all but done.
Was that just one stray bullet put into the body when he was already dead? Asserting his dominance. That's exactly what Optic Gaming have been doing in this game number 2. Requiring 1 then to close out the Slayer and double their series lead. Eco will go down to APG, and Optic 1 game away from progressing.
Well, it's familiar territory. We've been here before with Optic Gaming. The job is not done yet, but they look more focused. They look lasered. And it looks like Optic Gaming are finally starting to return to that championship form that we knew they were capable of. With Slayer live fire, it seems to always go in the way of Optic Gaming. This was the dead cert when you look at this series layout. SSG were just not able to wrestle back control right from the early stages.
It was dominant. And Optic Gaming have done exactly what they did to FaZe. They controlled the pace. And none more so, and no reason other than the damage that they put down. APG 3.9 leading his team. Pznguin answered back with 4K, but it wasn't enough.
It's a tough one, and I think that, again, it was down to the control of that overshield, that heat wave. Optic had so much freedom to just kind of roam around the map, constantly seeing Spacestation members being shot in the back. And they were never really able to stabilize, and it was Optic Gaming who always held the pace of the game. They pushed it when they needed to, they slowed it down when they needed to as well. And it means they now have a significant lead in this series, and they're 1 map away from being in the winners final and guaranteeing themselves to be back in top 3 once more, but also to have a really good shot at getting to that grand final. It's a very hot Shopify Rebellion and Native Red that are on the other side of the bracket, but that's not the names you're used to seeing when you get to a winners final. So whoever does get here from this winners semi, you'd have to assume would be the favorite to make their way to the grands.
Game 3 will be recharged strongholds as the ink dries on that Slayer. Confirmation 2-1, Empyrean CTF, 50-39. Slayer on live fire. You spoke about how it was the home of Optic Gaming and they kicked the noisy neighbors out. And now we head to strongholds on recharge, Dan, and that could be a different beast entirely.
Yeah, this is where the series layout really starts to favor Spacestation Gaming. 7-1 on Strongholds Recharge, undefeated on the 2 after that. But the one time they have lost on Strongholds Recharge, it was Optic Gaming. So this is a massive chance now for Optic to nip this series in the bud, get it done, win 3-0, and then you're on to the winners final. You don't have to worry about comebacks. You don't have to have that seed of doubt about what happened last time in the reverse sweep. Instead, just make sure you do it in 3.
While we wait, we've got FaZe up against LVT. And it's best friends playing against one another in King J and SnipPPPeY, and unfortunately, one of them will be going home, and the way the scoreline looks, top of your screens, is 2-0. Could very well be LVT and King J. Oil 2 will go down. Sab will scoop up what's left of a heat wave. AB in control of LVT as they just lose C. So early doors, LVT have a little bit of a lead.
Not where we'd expect to see FaZe competing here in Elimination Round 2. In this game, the winners guaranteed top 8, and of course that means guaranteed to have a spot at the World Championships. FaZe, they're going to be there anyway, regardless via points. LVT probably would be there via points as well, but to get any seeds of doubt out of their mind, I'm sure that they would love to have secured it via top 8, but to come across FaZe, it's always going to be tough. At 2-0 down, you have to hope for a reverse sweep. But at least they have the lead here on Stronghold's live fire, and Renegade is able to get 1, but LVT still scored.
And for LVT, you have to think, if it wasn't for a Saturday of madness with upsets and brackets getting flipped on their heads and power bombed, they might be playing against a team of lesser skill in the ability, not against one of the teams certainly in the top 2 or 3, but they find themselves face to face with FaZe Clan, who have already won 2 championships this year. But as it stands, not only in this game, but they're winning it. And if you want to keep up to date with what's going on, check out the B stream. You can see the URL there. Keep tabs on exactly what's going on.
Yeah, twitch.tv/HCS if you want to watch FaZe's potential last game, unless there could be a comeback from LVT, but we'll keep you updated on that one. LVT already have beaten SSG so far this tournament, so it's not out of the realms of possibilities. Speaking of SSG, back to our feature game, Spacestation versus Optic. It's a 2-0 lead at the moment. We're going into Strongholds Recharge, which is a very strong game type for Spacestation, but Optic have taken them down before. In fact, the only team that has beaten SSG on Strongholds Recharge is Optic Gaming. Can they do it again? Can they get a 3-0 against one of their biggest competitors? Will the revenge tour carry on? And can the Green Wall stand up strong once more?
Salt Lake City. Wasn't that long ago. It's fresh in the memories. And SSG were in this very same position, and they came back to win 3 straight and complete the reverse sweep. And Optic Gaming learned from the lessons, and they licked off the wounds, and they're ready to go again. 2 fall for each team camouflaged down in no man's land.
And all I will say, remember what we saw from Optic Gaming on that Strongholds game of Solitude against FaZe. It was unbelievable, the trip cap they held for quite some time. If they can play even remotely close to how well they played in that series, then this is going to be a very tough game for Spacestation. They may find themselves falling into that elimination bracket. Early scoring for Optic, it's an A and C hold, which is usually a little bit unorthodox, but you can make it work. Keep spawning the other team in pipes and keep the pressure every single time they do spawn, but Eco makes sure the one escaping player of APG is tracked down.
TriPPPeY drops down, gets a kill on the StelluR. Eco opts not to chase, the right decision, as he instead prioritizes securing A. Done so successfully. And that means that Spacestation would score for a little while, but not a long while, as APG steps inside B, and Lucid and TriPPPeY combine. to get 2 kills, make it 3. APG, the latest to fall. But it's a triple cap for the green wall.
Optic Gaming have been in the lab. They have been doing their prep. They've been doing their homework when it comes to strongholds. They've really changed how they want to approach these games and how aggressive they tend to go. The trip caps that they've been pushing, always pressuring off spawns at the same time. As again, they're looking to take B whilst they take the fight over towards C. Now it's going to be a case that Spacestation will spawn at C and Optic can just be a little bit more patient here. They're a man down, so they just have to wait and hope that they can catch one of these SSG members off guard.
Pznguin in tower. Lucid tried to close the gap, but StelluR waiting around the corner, waiting for a little bit of overexposure. But again, Optic Gaming's hold is strong. He goes in batteries, down to half shields now. Nobody on Optic to get in close to him just yet, but TriPPPeY's there. APG with camouflage. Drop from the heavens. StelluR's in trouble as well. He will fall. And all the kills are falling in favor of the green wall.
Optic are just playing flawless at the moment. It seems like nothing is going to get in their way in their mission to get their revenge from Salt Lake City, get themselves back to where they truly believe they belong, of lifting trophies once more. And they are so close to the winners final now. 88-6 in the early stages. Spacestation finally start scoring and have control of A and B, but we know what Spacestation are capable of here. They can get a proper hold. If they can get all 4 dead onto Optic, that's when it can start to get scary. So Optic need to keep on top of this. They need to keep applying that pressure, as they have done for so long already.
A in control. TriPPPeY gets 1, gets 2. Formal's there as well. StelluR on sneaky, has to back down long haul. And Optic, again, take that poor man setup of A and C. And this time, TriPPPeY wants the repulsor, and perhaps he'll be looking to play C by himself as he looks for information.
Yeah, what you want to do really is encourage them to try and push long haul and go to C. When they do go to C, if you're overwhelmed, you just out-rotate them and you head to B. And then you trap them at C again. It is as simple as that when you can do it on a piece of paper, but you've got to make sure you get the kills at the same time as Pznguin tries to survive. Tries as he might, he cannot do so. And again, it's going to be the spawns over towards gold and long, as A and C still scoring now.
SSG have a lot of distance to cover over those gold spawns. They have got numbers. Camouflage has also popped up. Formal tries to get the sticky grenades to land. Hasn't applied enough glue. They fly right past bound. A and B now in control of Spacestation, but APG will get one.
That is the danger of holding A and C, though. If the battle is won at A by the team that is being held at B, then suddenly they get the A and B set up, they can trap you at C, and they can score quite a significant amount of points if they get the setup properly. But Optic have done very well in not allowing Spacestation to set up, and one of the perfect ways to break any setups is a camouflage.
TriPPPeY just waiting, surveying the land, weighing up his options. A and B transfer, or A, excuse me, transfers once more. TriPPPeY dips away through blue, perhaps recognizing the help isn't there. He steps in just a fraction too late. He is there enough to get 2 kills, and will slip away once more into the cover of darkness. Formal will fall over towards B. Progress just under half made, but kills favoring SSG right now.
I love what I'm seeing in the moment from Optic Gaming, the way they're playing, but will I love what they're hearing? It's time for a listen in. Let's see what Optic Gaming are doing.
Tower stairs, tower stairs. Yo, half shield, top tower. Half shield, top tower.
Top tower.
I got one.
In B,
Shock
tower stairs.
down and turbine, guys.
Top tower, one shot.
All tower.
Shock downs and turbine.
Yeah, there's 2 guys tower side. 2 guys tower side.
Where we spawning here?
So I got top tower
I
right
spawned
now.
gold,
Got
I
top
spawned
tower.
gold.
They
I
got
thought
A,
we spawning.
wait,
This is good, this is good. Hide, do not die.
Honest balance. I didn't need that doing.
Look at Battle.
Go glass you weak bound gold.
Absolutely right. Yo, Ballard's weak. Ballard's weak.
Look at
Ballard's
Ballard's
weak.
weak.
Ballard's weak.
Ballard's one Pznguin. Ballard's one
Ballard's
Pznguin.
absolute.
You Tommy, you can see him.
Absolute
Yeah,
Ballard's.
there's 2 guys
One
tower.
tower,
Two guys
tower.
tower.
Here.
I think
Ballard's
Pznguin
He's still gold. Still gold.
Yeah, one shot Pznguin. One shot
Absolute gold stairs. Absolute gold stairs. Top
Yo,
right.
top tower.
Top tower, half eco. Top tower, one shot eco.
Game
Top
was
tower,
Yo,
one eco.
double stack, double stack.
Bottom tower.
Top tower, one
I have
eco.
the cross, I have the cross. Yo, I'm gonna push long haul.
Is there
Push long haul,
okay?
okay?
Okay, Tommy. I'm
Okay,
also
okay,
top
okay.
tower.
Top tower.
I'm playing kill tower.
Yeah.
Kill tower.
Yo, we gotta walk forward a little
Two
bit.
tower, my cross cat.
A cat absolute, A cat absolute.
Yo, one guy double stack.
Yeah, blue thing absolute, double stack, absolute, double stack.
Absolute double stack.
Up tower, weak Stellar.
One
Just
shot,
up tower,
one
just up tower.
Go see,
go see.
Watch out, tower, in the box.
Bottom mid bound on camo guys, on camo now.
One shot mega pit.
Nice, 3 dead. All dead. Go
I
see,
see,
go see, go
I
back to
Shock
C.
probably up, shock probably up.
Hear that.
I spawned gold,
Hold gold door, hold gold door. Yo, go
Either guys.
in B, guys in B.
Look at me, look at me.
They're looking for me.
Shot
Just
B,
need
shot
to be
one,
in.
shot one.
Throwing.
Hold army, I think.
Yo, two guys, go.
Yo, I'm gonna flank them guys, stay alive.
Yeah, bottom tower.
Wait, Matt.
You guys go door, weak as shit. Oh my god, go to weak. Triangle weak.
Still triangle.
Never
Yo, we're
never
not
go
blocking
bigger
C,
bit.
guys. We're not blocking C.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to C.
There's a guy back silo. There is a guy there.
I'm here, Brad. I'm
I hear
here.
that, Matt. I hear that.
You're alone, Matt. You're alone.
Neither.
I'm watching your cross.
Tower.
Yo, two guys, top monitor. Top.
I do love what I hear. They're making sure they're calling out the right things. They are ensuring that they are blocking the right spawns. As Optic Gaming now almost ahead by 100 points yet again and 60 away from winning this entire series.
Optic Gaming fans have been waiting so long to see this version of their team. What a time to do it. Already beaten FaZe. Very close to beating the reigning champions, Spacestation Gaming. B and C has been lost. TriPPPeY's happy to just stay alive for the moment. They are losing A with his 2 members over towards lockers. Formal should be there to get the kill. Bound continues to make it a difficult task. He has eventually gone down. StelluR's there to trade it out. 3 dead for the green wall.
This is Space Station's chance then to get back in. Trip cap, Forster spawns over towards C. APG's on his own over towards gold, but it looks like alongside TriPPPeY, they've been able to get a kill onto Eco, and they're going to try and wrestle B back. If they can get a B cap, then at least they've got something, but no, Bound stops it, but not for long enough. As now B is going to be in control, they can try and flip C, and it forces Space Station to make a move towards one or the other.
Formal's want to fight over towards C. They will lose B, but they've captured C. And they have a base of operations to push out from. Lucid on double stack. Takes more damage than he was able to put down. StelluR expertly backs away, recognizing he is so important to the hold over towards B, controlling gold pipes. Optic push is coming over towards A. It's been stopped for now. Lucid bottom tower. TriPPPeY top catwalk. APG's got a kill, makes it 2. While Lucid remains in tower, TriPPPeY fell towards A. The push was not good enough.
You can see Optic really want to take the players out of gold here. Bound is their next target. Formal at least has the camouflage to work with, so it will give him the chance to potentially push in. You can see he's just trying to gather information at the moment. And all the meanwhile, APG goes for round 2 at top gold as Pznguin just keeping sure he watches that doorway. But there's the pick, there's the second, and now Optic can push.
Formal breaks down the hole with the use of the camouflage. Got 2 more players weak as well. Unfortunately, TriPPPeY can't capitalize on the damage done. As he slides towards A, he will go down. APG, the final member standing, but he's managed to capture B in the meantime.
Captures B, but they still have A to Space Station, and they're flipping C. This is good reactive play from SSG, making sure they move when Optic Gaming are moving at the same time to out-rotate them in a way. And suddenly, this is only a 3-point game as Optic try and rescue A back again. But at the same time, they're also fighting C. This is a split push from OG, and it seems to be working.
Repulsor pushes him away, but he can't get A. SSG hold on. And they've taken the lead here. They pass over the 200-point threshold. Camouflage in just over 10 seconds as StelluR waits.
Formal wins the engagement, maybe gets the camouflage as a reward here, but he'll be spotted out as well. This has been the perfect last minute or so for Space Station, if not longer, but now Optic Gaming rescue control back. B and C in control. Camo could be burnt, won't be burnt. Finally goes down. But is it enough to create distractions here for Optic Gaming? They can get into A. This is where they need to be taking. They need to get A back. They don't want the poor man setup. They want that A and B hold so they can force Space Station into the same spawns they've been doing to them for the last couple of minutes.
They've got A. They hold B. Do they have the damage required to stop the push? Pznguin's got a cross catwalk. He tries to back away. He drops down to Mangler Pit. That will stop the push somewhat. More damage done. Lucid needs help over here as he pings the doorway. But APG has his own problems to deal with. And Eco And Pznguin get 2. 3 down for Optic. Setup broken wide open.
Yeah, this is Spacestation showing why they are so good at strongholds, King of the Hill, anything that is about breaking setups. SSG have worked on that all year long. And now Optic, they are on the back foot. They take down 2 though, make it 3. Pznguin's the last remaining player. This is a big fight over towards C here if he can win this one and keep these points being scored.
Pznguin got the reset, he's got the pistol, he gets a trade. Is that good enough? A is transferring hands, but B doing the same. Ego's trying to capture batteries. He's got teammates on hands. Bound drops down on the bridge to take out Formal. 2 down for Optic Gaming. And SSG just over 10 points away from victory.
It's one last push for Optic now. It looks like Lucid's heading over towards C. They're going to try and dip their toes in that one and take the fight. But StelluR now will go over towards A. But he gets shut down. C's still been taken, but he gets reset.
Spacestation are on the cusp of victory. Lucid tries to desperately stay alive. A reset comes through. A and B though for Optic Gaming. Lucid and Formal get the kills. Camo's up. This could be pivotal.
Camo could be massive. All you really want to do here for Optic is probably watch this camouflage, bait it. You can see Formal waiting as SSG now with one last push. Bound sends it into A. B is being taken at the same time. Lucid survives, but what's happening at B? It gets taken by SSG, and SSG rips the game from Optic Gaming. Series still alive here as SSG make sure they hold on.
Optic Gaming's victory was snatched from the jaws. And SSG survive in this series. They're pushing us to a game 4.
Spacestation say we are the reigning champs for a reason. We will not go down without a fight. And we will not be sent into the elimination bracket that easy. Optic so close to making it a 3-0 sweep and finding themselves in the winners final, but now they have to go to those 2 difficult game types that I was talking about earlier. But really, what a game of strongholds it was. I mean, Optic had control for quite a significant amount of time to begin with, but then Spacestation for the mid to late game, they held Optic back, and I thought it was going to be enough in these final moments when Optic held on. But it was a split push at A and at B that just meant it was too much to watch for Optic Gaming.
The kill appeared to be good on A. But SSG wrangle a plan together and pull off the unthinkable in the 11th hour. Last year when Optic Gaming lost a game like that, they were unshakable. We'll see what they're made of here.
So it was a kill by Pznguin onto APG. Bound distracts Lucid while StelluR and Pznguin, they made sure they jumped into B together to get that hill, to get that stronghold and secure that victory for the team. And that could do wonders for Spacestation, because now we head to King of the Hill Solitude. We head to Slayer Streets. Spacestation have lost neither of these game types all year long. Yes, granted, King of the Hill Solitude is a lot newer, but they still have a 3-0 record on this map and mode.
The tall order for Optic Gaming. These 2 game types on the horizon. But we've already been speaking about how they've turned the page. They've looked different, they've looked special. Particularly against FaZe. Last time they played Solitude, they shut FaZe down 250 points to 11 or something insignificant. It's a different game type this time. It's all about control. King of the Hill is up next.
It's all about putting your body on the line, being prepared to gather that time whilst trusting your teammates to keep you alive. And both these teams have players who are more than happy to do that. They know how to win here at Halo Infinite. There is not selfish players on either of these teams. There is not stat players on either of these teams. Every single man on that stage will do what is needed to be done to get a victory here. My worry is if we end up in a game 5, because Optic Gaming in Slayer Streets have really struggled so far this season. I feel for the green wall, it has to be here in King of the Hill Solitude if they want to be victorious in this series.
We don't have to wait long. We're getting straight back into the action. And Spacestation Gaming have a lifeline. Are they about to do yet another reverse sweep? They've already planted the seed. They need only apply water and watch it flourish. Optic Gaming, although they hold a series lead, this game type could be even more difficult than the last. We're underway, and we're on board with Eco in the cafe.
First Hill always tells us a lot about teams here on King of the Hill Solitude. Who is going to put their life on the line a little bit more? Who is prepared to be a little bit more risque and try and take that extra time? StelluR! If he starts hitting shots like that, it could be very bad news for Optic Gaming. Oh boy! Game on, series on. We might even go to a game 5 if he's playing like this.
StelluR's woken up. Sniper rifle is better in very few hands than this man. Oh! He's putting on a clinic. Finally shut down. As are 2 other members of Spacestation. And it's Optic who have control of Snipe and can threaten to put some score down and some time in the hill. They've got all 3 members of Spacestation in front of them, but Bound is behind them in a loop. 2 down apiece.
I say, who's going to put their body on the line for the hill? Who's going to put their body on the line to get in the way of the bullet of StelluR so that you can shut him down? Optic sent 3 players towards Snipe there to make sure that that sniper rifle was ripped out of his hands. And all the meanwhile, not many points scored by either team at the moment, or not much time, should I say, in this first hill. StelluR just trying to get the shots over towards Lucid at Glass. But it is Optic who have got the better of this first hill at the moment.
Optic have given up snipe spawns. Opting instead to hold towards top gold. StelluR gets a back whack. Formal's there though. He's rotated around. StelluR could be his latest victim. Yes, he is. Double kill. Pznguin will spawn towards blue, head to garbage truck and clean up Formal. Continue to put down damage. TriPPPeY, jiggle peaks, all the meanwhile.
Such a big angle for Pznguin right now at top posters, because you can be the one to challenge Light Rifle before they can shoot the hill, and that's why Pznguin wants to take Light Rifle away from them here, take Glass away from them, because it protects his teammates in the hill. And with Formal going down, it means that now Pznguin will own this side of the map, force the spawns over towards Snipe, and it gives you more protection in that top hill.
Real estate's getting real expensive on Solitude. Glass is a hefty price. Pznguin was willing to pay it. He's claimed it for his team, and you can see immediately they're starting to reap the rewards and benefits of him doing just that. Eyes trained on Snipe. His only job is to protect Bound's back.
Spawns over towards blue means that Bound can definitely be naded out. You just back them off top middle, but they're still scoring at the moment, our Space Station. Finally, Bound gets shut down again. It was the grenade as expected, but they've gained so much hill time there. APG takes the fight. It's a trade because Eco was able to help as several members of Optic fall, but Lucid's up quickly and a chance to protect the hill for him.
Lucid's trying to stand tall, but he's faced with 2 members of SSG. Very few will live the fight there. 4 dead, double kill, and 1-0 to SSG.
And a chance for StelluR to get that sniper rifle in his hands once more. Lucid had eyes trained on it, scoped in, but StelluR escapes as he puts 1 bullet into APG. Not enough to get the kill, but certainly warning shots around as Optic survived. They made sure they were calling StelluR out there. They did not allow him to get away.
StelluR with a sniper rifle. It's a boss fight whenever you're faced with him. They managed to deplete his health bar and do so remaining intact. Lucid and Formal again on hand to get 1 more. Formal lands the body shot, turns his attention towards Eco. Heads up play from the veteran. Somehow he's managed to dip away, but not for long. Lucid's there, APG too. And now they can start to score at the top of driveway, but SSG have already claimed half the time they need.
They have, but 3 were dead, and now Formal has his chance to show off what he can do with the sniper. He said what StelluR was going to do. Well, Formal was doing just that earlier in this series, and it really can be the difference maker on Solitude if you've got someone who can consistently hit these shots. QT's up. Formal trying to hit some no-scopes, but StelluR's there to shut him down immediately.
ABG's in trouble. Massive kill for him though. He gets 1, and that will mean spawns remain staggered and numbers remain a little bit janky. Optic still have a member in gold. Sniper rifle in the hands as well. TriPPPeY fired 1 shot in anger, but it didn't connect. Nobody in hill. 2 minutes and 5 on the clock.
So often on Solitude we see just a couple of hills gathered and then It doesn't seem like there's long left in the game because it is so heavily contested, so many of these hills. So easy to push off spawn, so easy to nade off spawn as well. 3 dead for Optic Gaming, make it 2 now. As Pznguin's trying to hold on, trying to get the last little slither of this hill. Backs out, avoids the grenades, will get help though. It's 2-0 to Spacestation with 2 minutes left on the clock. And Optic Gaming, they need this 3rd hill. They cannot allow this to go to Spacestation, otherwise this game will be done.
2 hills without reply. Time for Optic to gather themselves and go again. Problem is, many members trapped in blue, which is usually the spot you want, particularly when this hill is up. Pznguin will pop the QT. He has a get out of jail free card, tried to use it. Didn't do so quickly enough. They backed Eco back into yard. He's re-challenged though. TriPPPeY's down to no shields, and no doubt SSG will start to lean this side. Optic putting down some real decent time here. Bound, bottom dip. SSG also have a member top middle in the shape of Pznguin. As long as TriPPPeY can keep these spawns, he's in a good spot, and it won't be one against Pznguin though. And he does survive.
Big pivot. Make sure you win that, and you need to now make sure someone's getting in this hill because that clock is slowly ticking away. And it is very much on Spacestation's side right now. TriPPPeY needs to watch loop. Also needs to communicate to the team that he is going to be watching that loop as well to tell them if they're going to be pushing up to posters. But with Formal going down, TriPPPeY knows that he can't afford to stay in that hill. He just get naded out. And that means again, the clock is going to start to tick.
TriPPPeY gives it up. Doubles back though. Drops down. No harm, no foul. 1 minute and 3 now. Sands of time begin and continue to hamper and hinder Optic Gaming. APG will strafe back and forth, trying to survive, avoiding grenades but not avoiding bullets. 52 now on the clock.
52 on the clock. Spacestation just trying to shut out Optic. Let's see what the communication's like with SSG. We've heard it from Optic. What are SSG doing?
You guys do top board, yeah?
Yeah, blue truck.
Kill's kind of weak.
U-turn to soda.
One shot dip. Dead. Lucid still.
Bottom minute flounder.
Soda machine for a second.
On you.
Soda. Where's the next hill go?
They're here. Speak on
hotel.
Spawn player. He's just on the hill.
See. Bottom mid, I think. Blue truck formal.
I'm looking.
One shot blue truck formal. And in hill.
Yeah, yours one shot TriPPPeY. Jump the truck, guys. U-turn.
Look at top gold right now.
U-turn, absolute U-turn.
Hold on.
That's 2 dead.
Top dead. 2 in hill. I can flank him.
Last 2.
Okay, heard.
Yeah, no, weak.
That's ramp weak.
Then there's a flank. ABG's weak.
Nice. Go shot.
Nice, good shot.
The shot's in.
30 seconds. UT's up.
Yo, loop right now. Loop TriPPPeY. I can guard bottom mid.
LR ramp.
TriPPPeY's loop. Green stairs, guys. Green stairs.
Watch
Green stairs.
They're
gonna go in a sec.
Yeah, see it?
Nice. Gonna come in a second.
Loop right now. Green stairs.
Level.
23 seconds left. SSG still on top. They just need to hold out this hill. They didn't know where the hill was going, by the way, but Elamite at least was on form to make sure he knew he'd done his research. As 2 go down for Optic Gaming. 12 seconds left.
They've got a member in the hill, but just as quickly he gets out, they get the kill. Lucid gets 1, 2 dead. StelluR has to be an influence here. He can't do so. It has to be a perfect hole from Optic Gaming.
This is still doable, and I think Optic know it as well. If they can get the first onto Eco, then they'll have the extra player on the map. This is still achievable for Optic Gaming. 8 seconds left on the clock, but they cannot afford to slip up. They cannot step out of this hill.
It's still on the cards. Optic Gaming still have a member in the hill, but all of a sudden they're getting garbage truck spawns. They're getting influenced elsewhere. 2 go down for Optic Gaming, but they've still got Formal in there. He gets the kill, and he captures the hill.
We're going to overtime. Still a chance for Optic Gaming. They keep this game alive, and SSG cannot hold them out via the clock. That is always the danger of trying to play time. If you give Optic Gaming an inch, they will take a mile. 2 minutes now, back on the clock, and we're heading over towards Hotel.
And all of a sudden, have the winds changed? Are they in the sails of the green wall? TriPPPeY over towards top blue. Bound. And Eco, will fall. StelluR was down to no shield. TriPPPeY does not care about him. And instead, prioritizes staying alive. Bound comes back to bite off more than he can chew, perhaps. TriPPPeY continues to survive, but 1 will fall.
Formal has the sniper. Formal gets taken out. You really want to be holding snipe spawn here. You get so much vision, so much coverage of this hill. And of course, if you have a sniper, even better, you can do more damage. That's why Lucid's trying to hold on to snipe side right now. But Bound is eating away at this time. Bound is trying to just collect as much points as he can, whilst Optic are forcing themselves into other areas. And he shuts down TriPPPeY, but APG gets behind.
APG's in hotel, and he's checking in. Lucid will also step into the hill, but APG will fall. Grenades getting spun out from Cafe at the hands of Eco, who desperately just tries to keep them out of the hill and has done so successfully for now.
Tell you what, this clock's starting to look very scary for both teams. 1 minute on the shot clock. Formal gets the opener, APG gets a second, 3 are dead. Optic Gaming now can push in. Eco, he's caught in no man's land really, and they want to shut him down. They want to take him off snipe here so they can get the coverage, so they can get the vision.
TriPPPeY chases him S1. Eco was ready for it. TriPPPeY gets all up in his face and lands a haymaker.
2 dead for SSG. Hill still being held here. And TriPPPeY knows there's someone behind him, just needs to con that to the team because they've got the perfect angle.
48 seconds is all they have. SSG look like they're desperately hanging on, but they have got control of Dip and indeed Flowers as Bound soars down bottom middle. TriPPPeY down to no shields. Eco gets the pick. 3 dead for Optic Gaming here, and perhaps this one's not done just yet.
You cannot split the difference between these two teams at the moment, so evenly matched. If that clock goes down to 0 and no one scores, it will be a reset and first to 2. You want to get this done if you get the opportunity here, but you don't want to throw everything and then give it to the other team. SSG maybe feel like they have more on the line here as Optic now try and make their push. 2 go down. SSG with the chance to hold this hill.
Lucid still over towards Snipe, but Eco's gotten a kill. They're trying to clear him out. They're trying to flush him. They need to get close. They've got members over towards Snipe, and they've got almost the time that they need. Lucid continues to survive on S4, but TriPPPeY has fallen. And could that be the pick that they need? Could that be the most important kill of the game?
Nice shot from Pznguin though. He got to get in the hill, and they do. 3 are dead for Optic Gaming, and Spacestation need to hold, and TriPPPeY, can he do anything off spawn? No, he can't. We're going to a Game 5 in the winner's semis. SSG are making a series of this one, and this is why they were the champs in Salt Lake City, and this is why they want to do the 2-peat.
And very quickly, as we have a Game 5 on the cards, this was exactly what you said Optic Gaming did not want. You said they needed to do it in 4. We're going to StelluR.
Game 5 has not boded well for Optic Gaming in most recent tournaments. They've really struggled in that StelluR. And whether it's mentality, whether it's game type, it doesn't really matter. The stats are facts at that point. We saw it happening at Salt Lake. Game 5, they lose to FaZe. Game 5, they lose to SSG. And they were so close to having a chance here at winning in Game 4, but Spacestation were not phased. They were 2-0 up. They almost threw it away, trying to play time, letting it go to 2-2. It was looking like we might have even had a map reset of overtime. It was that darn close. But Spacestation kept their cool. They kept hold of that hill, and they did not allow Optic Gaming to bully them off spawn. And it means we will get a Game 5 StelluR between 2 of the best teams that we have in this tournament.
And Spacestation Gaming are on the cusp of matching the same feat they did in Salt Lake City and performing the reverse sweep against Optic Gaming. The question remains, do Optic now have what it takes to ice up? Recently, the answer has been no. But this team has looked different this tournament.
Well, well, well. It's Game 5. It's Spacestation. It's Optic. It's StelluR Streets. Now, if this was StelluR Livefire, I'd be trying to tell you, yeah, Optic have a real chance. This could be Optic's game. Forget their Game 5 statistics. Spacestation are 8-0 on StelluR Streets this year. Optic are what? 3-5? 4-5, excuse me. It's a 50-50 game for Optic Gaming, but it is a 100% win record for SSG. They are so good at StelluR Streets. And that really worries me for the Green Wall, because not only is now the stats against them on Game 5s, the stats against them on Slayer Streets, but they're going to be in their own heads. They're going to be thinking about what has happened in these Game 5s against SSG historically. They need to try and push this aside. They need to try and ignore these numbers on your screen. Optic need to give Spacestation their first loss on Slayer Streets if they want to find themselves in the Winners Bracket Finals.
Optic Gaming have to dig deep, or they will be fighting from the elimination bracket. And for Spacestation, the game plan is back on form. Rockets have been scooped up. Optic Gaming have whisked them away. The perfect start for the Green Wall. 2 go down. TriPPPeY still got 1 rocket to play with. Prioritizes surviving for now.
I will say, when we saw Optic Gaming play this earlier on against FaZe, they really dominated rocket control. They slowed the game down. They frustrated FaZe. They constantly forced them into those spawns over towards Tram. They can do something similar. Maybe they can find a recipe for success and finally shut down Spacestation on a game which they have not lost so far in Halo Infinite this season.
APG chased the kill. He survived. He fell towards Statue. Game's locked level, at least it was, and is again 6-6 now. Lucid has the Stalker rifle. He can output so much damage with that weapon, as showcased right there.
Pinged it on the map and finished it off himself. He said, don't worry, I got it. Stalker rifle is so powerful when in the right hands, but it's about to be out of ammo. As soon as it is out of ammo, that's when you need to communicate to your coach. Get that on the timer. Make sure you are the team to pick it up next, because it is a hugely beneficial weapon when you are trying to control this map. Whether it's those long lanes over towards Pink and Arcade, or just trying to do damage from these towers, make sure it's in your hands.
Lucid fires that final remaining bullet just to put it back on respawn. It's different from what we've seen before. They had FaZe in this position, trapped in Tram. As the threat sensor goes down, we'll have picked up a little bit of information, enough to ensure they get the kill. Onto APG, at least 3 dead. Lucid's last man standing, and immediately turns his attention to trying to survive. Rockets have been scooped up by Pznguin. He's down to half shields. In tires, make it 1 shot, but it matters not, as now he has the boombox.
I think that's going to be the difference here as well. FaZe were unable to really get those rockets. I think actually FaZe only got 1 rocket against Optic on this map and mode earlier. The Spacestation tied up 1-1 in rockets gathered, but Pznguin 0 for 1 in rockets hit. That Shroud actually gives him the chance to push up. Makes the second one connect though, and will continue to push, but APG holds strong. His BR still as solid as it has been for the last decade.
Steady as a rock, reliable. APG in that situation. Plasma grenade goes down, doesn't do any damage, thankfully. As the gangster slides towards garbage. TriPPPeY's got a kill with the Bulldog. Pznguin will also join him. Bound goes down. 3 dead for SSG. And APG gets back to his teammate as they begin to hold a very clear setup.
I think this Game 5 is going to tell us whether Optic Gaming are capable of winning a championship here in Fort Worth. If you can beat Spacestation on their best Slayer game type in a Game 5 where historically you've been struggling, then maybe the tides have turned and this Optic roster is back to its fine form that we've seen so often in Halo Infinite. However, if they're to lose yet another Game 5, if it's another reverse sweep they go down to, this is when mentality really becomes an issue. And it's so difficult to pick yourself up from those scenarios.
You speak of mentality, and a player you rely on so much, not only in every game, but particularly in those Game 5s, in those icy moments. You're looking to turn to a man with experience. That man, more often than not, is Formal. And at the moment, 0, 1, and 6. No doubt has to turn this game around. They're not impeded too much on the scoreline, 15-15. No doubt he's been putting down enough damage for his teammates. Eco and StelluR make moves towards the Rockets. APG frantically calling that out. Eco's whisked away towards L. They've got Bound behind them on railings though. As Lucid closes the distance, Rockets are gone. Lucid gets 1. As APG continues to fire into the smoke, Eco could be about to join him. APG gets 1. 18-17 kills ever so slightly favor SSG.
19-17. SSG now on top. TriPPPeY trying to escape. He should just be able to get away as the Rockets, as you said, were scooped up by Pznguin, and he still has 2. Optic were unable to really see where he went because of the Shroud screen. And it's why that Shroud really did change how this map is played and how those Rockets are gathered. But again, the first one is missed. Pznguin reassesses. It's a collateral. I think he hit a teammate as well, but he's able to get a double.
Well, trade one out as well. 3 kills for Pznguin in that 1 life. 2 kills the difference. Lucid in a 1v1 against Bound. Gets traded out with StelluR eventually gets there. APG will bob and weave, will try to give StelluR the wiggles. 2 members of Optic Gaming converge, try and hunt down StelluR. They've lost him just a little bit here. Formal will go down. StelluR has a killing spree. 3-kill game.
StelluR is not the player you want to allow to get out of control and to start to freely roam the map. You see it happen time and time again where he gets let loose and he will find a way behind you. He'll creep behind you and drill those shots. 26-23. It's a slender lead, but it is a lead that Spacestation can work with here. Optic are staying close enough in it and not allowing Spacestation to get away. If this becomes a 5+ kill lead for Spacestation, that's usually when they just find themselves with so much success at controlling the map. Here comes the next set of Rockets.
Rockets up. Lucid gets the pick. Formal drops down, risks his life to secure the Rockets and gets away with them, but does fall. Is Eco in a position to pick up the Rockets? The answer's no. He gets meleeed. Lucid gets another kill, and TriPPPeY's got hands on Rockets.
TriPPPeY secures the Rockets and secures a kill. 31-30. Optic regain the lead here.
Some chance of SSG around the arena. All 4 members of SSG towards Arcade and Red Room. APG could be about to walk into a trap here if he's not too careful. He puts it in reverse towards Caution. Do they know all 4 members are positioned there? APG will go down. And TriPPPeY tries to capitalize on the damage that he's done. 3 dead for SSG. Optic Gaming are piecing it together.
Yeah, I think they realized very quickly Spacestation were holding hands in the arcade. It's a perfect for TriPPPeY. It's a 3-kill lead now for Optic Gaming. And by having the lead, they can be the ones to dictate the pace. They can try and force Spacestation back into Traum once more. I think they saw the spawns over towards Pink here, and you can see that's why TriPPPeY's taking this angle at Agen. He's waiting, he's baiting his teammates, waiting for a little bit of a call out maybe to finish off the damage. But it's no bueno. Spacestation are not falling for it. They are not pushing. They have time to work with at the moment. And this is why Spacestation are so good at this map, is they will take their time and they will find a way to break you. But if Optic can hold off, maybe one more push and gain that kind of 5+ kill lead, with 4 minutes remaining, this is doable.
TriPPPeY 12-6. There's a reason why Clutch calls them Big Game Trip. He's bailed Optic out of a sticky situation time and time again. Looking to do so here and now to push them into the winners finals. Gets 1. Lucid secures a 2nd. Pznguin will fall. Slays have come at the right time as Rockets have just popped out the oven and they're ripe.
Oh, but Lucid doesn't quite grab them, but it doesn't matter. No Rockets, no problem. They're still on the map though. You want to be able to secure them, which he does second time around. Wastes them quite intelligently, really, because I think he was very scared he was going to go down. It's a 5-kill lead for Optic. 3 versus 3 on the map. And Spacestation are so desperate to try and control the A side, and finally they get it. Finally they force Optic Gaming back into Tram. 2 big kills in favor of Spacestation. It's now only a 3-kill game here as Optic just try and scatter out of Tram and try and survive.
Formal turn tail, put the smoke down to cover his escape. Got away with his life. Just about. As quickly as SSG had A side, chasing down those kills means they spawn and are back down at Tram once more. Bound's got a kill though. Hold on. This one's not done just yet. Bound though runs straight into Lucid's plasma grenade. Expertly placed. It's a 2-kill game.
I mean, without that stick, they were going to be overwhelmed by Spacestation. It was massive from Lucid. Yes, he lost his life, but his 18th kill could have been one of the most important so far in this game. 2 minutes 35 on that clock. The clock could become a big factor here if the game keeps slowing down in the way it has been. Rockets in 28. Both teams will naturally want to try and set up for this, which will mean they will avoid contact with one another as best as they can. Because if you give up any sort of map control, if you allow one kill to go in favor of your opposition, the Rockets are likely to be theirs.
You can cut the tension with a knife. Lucid. It's over towards Pink. Pznguin on B stairs. Desperately looking for information. He's been back down. Smoke screen goes down. Rockets will pop. Here comes the boom then. Melees aplenty. But it's Optic who have hands on Rockets for now, but they've lost him in the lights. Rockets are down on L. Bulldog for Bound as Lucid challenges. And StelluR has one more rocket to play with. It's a one-kill game, but that could very quickly change.
One kill could be enough, though. 1 minute 30, 43-43. The second rocket connects, and we're all tied up. One push could be everything here for either team. Optic are on the back foot. They are trapped at A at the moment. And look at Spacestation swarm, but Eco goes down. Numbers in favor of Optic, and Optic get 3. It's 46-43 here.
Optic turned this one on its head. They played the Uno reverse card. TriPPPeY challenges on statue, but Pznguin hits 3 of the best to get the kill. He hits 2 more. 2-kill game. Optic need 2. 1 kill. 55 seconds remain.
Lucid's still dead. It's still an extra man on the map for Spacestation, but now he's up. 48 seconds. One last push for Spacestation. Optic can play this one slow. They can be the team to sit back, but they are over towards Tram and Red Room. The collapse is there for Spacestation, but the last collapse did not go well. They need to plan accordingly. Use the grenade you have available, but Formal gets 1.
It's all over! Optic Gaming claim the scalp of SSG. They're going to winners finals.
And not only do they claim the victory, they do it in a game 5. They do it on a map that SSG had not lost all year long. This is what we needed to see from Optic Gaming. This is what the fans had to see to believe that Optic could be back on top once more. Is this championship contending Optic Gaming once again? As they've taken down the #1 seed, they've taken down the Salt Lake City winners in Spacestation Game.
Optic Gaming navigated choppy waters. When faced with the Game 5, you feared the worst. And in the latter stages of that game, it appeared to be going only one way, particularly back tower. But they turned that fight on its head. They turned the series back in their favor. And they're going to winners finals.
19-11 for Lucid. Almost 6,000 damage as well. For any questions, for any eyebrows that may have been raised about Lucid and performances, he steps up when he needs to for Optic Gaming. And they win map #5 by 3 kills. And I will reiterate, give Spacestation their first ever loss on Slayer Street so far this year. We've learned a lot from Optic Gaming. They are not the same team that we saw in Salt Lake City. They are not the team that seems to just be falling in Game 5s time and time again. They finally back to being that clutch team that we know and we love.
Well, Optic Gaming have beaten FaZe. They've beaten Spacestation Gaming. And one man who was pivotal in that win today was Formal. Blaze has got an interview. Take it away, fella.